There's adaptation, and there's creation. A lot of times when we say adapt, that can be looked at in the perspective of somebody else is in control. I like to emphasize the creation as opposed to adapting. If you're in the oil industry and they say, well, oil is going out and the industry's changing, you're gonna have to adapt. Yeah, you do have to adapt, but more than anything, I wanna get your mind in the creative aspect. The creative aspect is to really realize when you go into the mall, when you pull in that parking lot, you see these structures. Better yet, when you go into a city, right? You come from the country areas, the rural areas, you go into a city, you see these big buildings, you see these bridges. Understand, at one point, there was all trees. There was all trees. Like the next time you go into anywhere and you see these big giant buildings, you're like, wow, realize this land was all trees. Somebody thought about it and said what this could be. We got to get back into the creative aspect of things. We have to realize the power that we have. When we were little kids, we used to play in sand castles, and you be playing sand, you build these big, nice castles in the sand. That's what people do. That's what humans do. That's what they're doing right now. They're planning what they're going to do with your neighborhood, right? You got politicians saying, we're not going to zone this for this area. You're not going to have this business on this side of town. They're making decisions that are affecting you. You got to get in the creative aspect of things, right? So yes, there's adaptation, but let's be creative. So whatever you're doing, how can you make it better to where this will keep you in business 10 years from now? Look at the music industry, how it's changed. You have to create and you have to adapt, but you have to create. Comprehend what creation is, making something from nothing. And when I'm saying nothing, I'm talking about physical, but you're creating it with your mind first. One of the things you can do is to start thinking. Make a conscious decision that you're gonna read something that you have not read before. You're gonna get uncomfortable. I remember when I first, I wasn't really just into science per se, but when I started reading more about science, not the way they taught it in school, I didn't like it that way. When I looked at science from different perspectives and I read about science, it became interesting to me. And the words that were big and hard, they're not big and hard anymore. I use them on a daily basis. But at first it was uncomfortable. It was like, man, I'm trying to wrap my head around what this means, right? And back then I was using a dictionary. Well, now we can just hit Google. It was uncomfortable at first, but it helped me to shift. And so as my thinking shifted, my action started shifting. So I just started creating things. So when something bad happens, I just think about how to create it. So that's what we got to do. Understand that everything is going to change. So what you can do, practice these right now. Change the music that you listen to, right? Now, I'm not saying if you just like rap, listen to different rappers. If you only listen to trap music, your mind is just going to be about trapping all day. Listen to some different form of rap. Don't mean you have to not listen to it at all, but you got to start changing things that you're putting into your psyche. It's just this all this. You're getting different thoughts. I love Tupac. What I like about Tupac is he was so diverse. So I could listen to, when I wanted to listen to the hard street gangster stuff, I listened to that. But when I wanted to listen to some Dear Mama or some Black empowerment, I put on another song. He was just that type of artist. Well, there aren't that many type of artists, so you might have to listen to a totally different person, but you can listen to the type of information coming into you, right? If you don't watch the news at all, watch the news more. Do different things. Be around different people. If you're getting in the business world, your business is shifting. Look up people that are on the next level in your business or your industry and start reading about what they do on a daily basis. You got to start shifting yourself. Consciously make the decision to shift yourself. We've been living by chance and luck. We cannot live by chance and luck. We have to live consciously. We got to know what we're going to do. I don't believe in luck. I don't deal with luck. I deal with success. I deal with plotting, planning, organizing, and taking advantage of an opportunity. What you call luck is just opportunity and preparation. Opportunities are always there, but you're not always prepared. So the better you become prepared, it's gonna appear that you're lucky, but you're just prepared. The opportunity is always there. There's always room. Somebody always falling off. Somebody always not doing this at your job. The door been there. You could have been the manager. You could have been elevated, but you weren't prepared. So get prepared. And when the opportunity arrives, bam, it's gonna hit. Everybody else gonna be like, you got lucky, but nah, you didn't get lucky, you just ready. So get ready. The way you get ready is understand everything's gonna change and shift. You gotta adapt, but you got to create. So be creative.